Okay, it's video time at Newhouse. We'll just take a walk around here. That was Kaylee in the background. She thought I was talking to her, but I'm really talking to the video. There she is, disappearing behind the wall. So we're just walking up here, taking a look at the current state of Newhouse. Here on beautiful Rousay. A little bit of an overcast day. It was raining before, but if I pan around here, going into the back garden, if I pan around here to Ein Hollow Sound, you can see it's as if it were a mill pond right now. I don't think I've ever seen it this calm. Absolutely amazing. This is normally quite a hazardous stretch of water because to the west is the North Atlantic and to the east is the North Sea, and never the twain shall meet. And where they do, it can be quite turbulent. I also think this stretch of water here is pretty shallow, so that doesn't help with regard to turbulence. So just taking a walk around the garden. Things have recovered a little bit since Ralph came through last year and cut everything back. You can see a couple of, there's a little stump of, not sure what that is, but it's coming back, and we will endeavor to keep them pruned, keep them tame. A few weeds poking out here and there, but overall it's recovered quite nicely. There's Newhouse. A little bit sad right now. Definitely in need of a little bit of TLC. So you can see on the west side here, single story with a chimney, fireplace at the end. The annex in front here is a little lean-to with not only the front porch, but also the only toilet in the house, which is quite interesting. But after all, the house is at a minimum more than 200 years old. There's the two-story side of the house. So walking up the hill here. And it is our hope that we can maybe make these windows just a bit larger to let in more light, though some of them are in decent shape. It would be a shame to not be able to at least reuse them. We have every intention of removing that concrete fill from the door there and putting a door in again. This end of the house, two-story end, we're going to have the kitchen on the ground floor here. It's currently what they call the store, and it's got a fireplace in it. At the end there's a chimney and a wooden floor that desperately needs to be replaced. Okay, we'll walk out the garden gate and to the eastern gable end of the house. I should mention too that the house has, turn it sideways here, a southern outlook, which is fantastic for light in the winter, since there's only about, on the shortest days, there's only about 6 hours or so of light here in Orkney. Of course, the upside in the summertime, there's 20 hours of light. So we'll walk around here. We actually own half of the ruin there, not the whole ruin, but just the western half that I'm pointing to now. And we considering making that into a little craft kind of room and put a roof on it and make it a crafty kind of space. There's Kaylee up on the hill again. So walking around the outside of the house here. This extension is what was called the kitchen. Oh, that's probably pretty generous. When you go inside, we'll see what we actually have there. Isn't quite what most of us would call a kitchen. Then we have a little ruinous building here. Not really sure what it was. If we look at the Ordnance Survey maps, we'll see that it was on the map post-1910, but pre-1910 it wasn't drawn on there. Now that doesn't mean that it wasn't there. It may have just been missed or not drawn in, but generally those things are pretty accurate as to what buildings were there and what buildings were not there. So this building is likely from the turn of the 20th century there, so around 1900. Not sure what it was. It may have been a store, but oddly it has a little transom over the door here to let light in. And there are also windows on the south side again. I just get the feeling it may have been a extra little living space rather than a store. You see the remains of the flagstone roof. Some of it's still inside here, collapsed in, but it had a flagstone roof. Walking between, oh, there we go. Single story side of the house. Sorry it's so close up here, you really can't see much. I get to the end here and I'll show you what that looks like. Unfortunately, the wall at this end, as you can probably see, needs quite a bit of care. Oh, great, just brushed against a stinging nettle. There's a single story of the house. This side has blue slate on it. The other side has kind of a gray stone slate on there. Oh, looks like one of the local farmer's cattle here got loose and is up and outside of his pasture and in our neighbor's little wild area here. Oh, just ran back down into the field. It's the first time we've seen cattle in this pasture. So that's interesting, a nice little change for us. Okay, that's pretty much the outside of the house. So this is a little bit herky-jerky, I'm really sorry. My first attempt at actually making a narrated video, so interesting little feature at the end of the house here is this lovely flagstone. It looks like concrete. It may have been reinforced with concrete a little bit later, but it's actually a flagstone tank. Probably used to store water before, maybe even before they had running water in the house, which they do have now. There's a couple of sinks in the house with running water. You can see that plastic pipe running up from the ground by the kitchen window there is actually the water supply. We have a new well that we've dug. You see it right there. So there's no pump on it yet, so we have to connect it to the house, but we have drilled the hole and we have hit water, so we have a new water source available. Pan around here, so we're going into the kitchen now. And you can see that actually it's just really a sink with a drain board either side. It's a little storage pantry. Look at the wood up here. You can see that some of them are logs. Some of them are actually timber beams. A little bit of woodworm damage on some of them, but they used whatever was available. Be interesting to see if we could get these dendrodated to see when trees were actually felled. But course, that's no indication of when the house had been built. Just tells you how old the tree was when it was cut down. But interesting nonetheless. Boy, there's a lot of woodworm showing on this. But it still looks, despite that, it still looks pretty solid. Oh, that wasn't too good, was it? Plastered walls. Let's go into the house. Down the 2 steps. So the room you see in front of us here was called the store. It has a fireplace in it. I actually think it may have been a little workshop. We hope to make this the kitchen. Nice southern exposure. If you remember that concrete block door outside, that's where it is. There's a little cabinet sitting in there now, but we'd like to take that out and put the door in again. And if we take a look at the floor joists from the first floor above us, they look like they're in reasonable shape. Some are hand-hewn timbers. See the chisel marks on them. But they look like they're in, for the most part, pretty decent shape. The fireplace leaves a little bit to be desired, and you can see the floor is rotted through here. The rubble under the floor. This is the wooden floor, so it's sitting on joists. Not sure if the joists are sitting on bedrock or they're stretched across the width of the room above the bedrock. Interesting wooden plank wall on that side. Looks like it's in pretty reasonable shape. Okay, into this small room here, which was the last resident's bedroom before she had to move out and put into a care home. So it was probably last occupied about 12, 13 years ago or so. So we go up the stair into it's called the first sitting room. Window in the southern exposure there. Got an old royal oven there, but we'll probably have to remove that. There's our architect. I'm not sure if she wants to be videoed, so I won't video her, but she's tapping on the walls here. Determine the integrity of the walls.
What's masonry and what's...
Right, this interesting room. Little beadboard ceiling here, which is always kind of nice. I think we'd like to kind of keep that. So here we go on the ground floor still. Stepping through to the single story side of the house. I have another little sitting room here. Fireplace. Oh, I don't know what the vintage of that is. 40s, 50s maybe? I'm really not sure. But little ceramic gray tile fireplace. Interesting thing here, these look like doors, but they are doors to nowhere. And the folks may have just used what they had and got the doors and used them as a wall. Or if we walk through here, we actually see that there is what was the final edition of the bathroom. The shower stall has subsequently been removed, but there's a little sink in here. But maybe those doors went into another room here, and this room was used for some other purpose rather than a bathroom. I think the bathroom is probably, I don't know, 80s maybe. This is the front door of the house. Sorry, you can't see that too well. actually goes to a little entryway there. And the toilet is actually to my right there at the bottom of the stair. See a little door going in there. That's currently the only toilet in the house. So these, I don't know what we call these walls in the style of the walls. Call them in the States shiplap maybe. And through to the largest room on the single story side of the house. Nice big fireplace there. Fortunately, this wall, as you see the cracks on both sides, is coming away from the main part of the house and will absolutely have to be addressed one way or another. Another window to the south. The floors here are also a little suspect. And actually the floors are okay. The joists underneath are quite a bit springy, so they need some attention too. But this nice big room will hopefully be the master bedroom. Walk back through the house. Walk along the ground floor here. A little work desk with my laptop and comfortable camping chair. Go up the stair to the second floor, or first floor, as we say in the UK. And turn to the right here and have a lovely little box bed here that we would like to keep. Make this into a little, maybe grandkids' bedroom for when they come visit. Let's get that in focus. There we go. Lovely box bed though. Doorway, little lights above the doorway here though. The glass has been removed. That's plastic up there right now. Little box room over on this side. Let's get that in focus. There we go. And we hope to make this into a bathroom. Looks big enough. And actually, if you go that way, you can see the light streaming through there's a skylight there. That's storage space, attic. And go back here, see the fireplace in front of me. This is the largest room on the second floor. This will also be a bedroom. Blocked fireplace here. I think we'd like to make that active again. And there's the plasters and sad shape in here, and the ceiling. See the lath there, and the plaster's falling off. Interesting, right here on this imposing looking timber, we have carpenter's marks, maybe shipwright's marks, witch's marks, not sure. But if we look at this thing, you can see how substantial this and the one behind it actually are. There's my hand in there for reference, so what's that? Maybe 10 inches by 8 inches. It looks like they've been used and reused again. And a wooden peg right there. Wooden peg hole right there that's been filled. Lovely view outside this room towards Newhouse Sound. Though when you're 6'1", you have to crouch to look out the window. Okay. That's the second floor of the house. And that ends the tour of Newhouse for now. Talk to you next time.